Okay, welcome everyone. In this video, we're going to study about the anatomy of the eye. So, anatomy of the eye. So, we call first of all, we'll go on with the introduction. So, introduction. So, first of all, I want to ask you, what is the shape of the eye? So, we call it as eyeball. So, what is the exact shape of the eye? So, is it look like a cricket ball or it look like a rugby ball? So, let's move on with the shape. First one. Shape. So what is the shape? If you say it as the cricket ball, so your answer is wrong. So the shape of the eyeball is not look like a cricket ball. So it is not spherical. It is aspherical. To say exactly, the shape is called as oblate. So the shape is oblate spheroid. So the next important point we have to go is what is the volume of the eye? So volume of the eye is totally 6 ml. So third one is what is the length of the eyeball? So the axial length. So we call it as axial length or anterior posterior diameter of the eye. So the length of the axial length of the eyeball is 24 mm, or for easily we can call it as 2.4 centimeter. Okay. The fourth one is our eye. So the eye is protected by the bony cage. So this is the eye and the bony cage. They're surrounded by the bony cage. The bony cage is called as the orbit. So orbit. So what is the orbit is composed of? So this is the roof and this is the floor, and then this is we call this as a lateral side, and this is the medial side. So this is the bony cage, and it is inside there is eyeball. So the bony cage is protecting our eyeball. So let's move on with the fifth point. So what is the volume of the orbit? Volume of orbit. So the volume of the orbit is 30 ml. So in this, the introduction of the eye is over. Okay, now let's move on with the structure of the eyeball. So first we will move on with the layers. So what are the layers of the eyeball? So there are totally 3 layers of the eyeball. So the 3 layers are the outermost layer and the middle layer, then the innermost layer. Okay, so let us study that in the brief. So layers, outer, middle, and the inner layer. So in the outer layer you have 3, the sclera, second one the cornea, and the third one is limbus. So now I will explain this all 3 things. So first we will move on with the sclera. So what is sclera? Do you have any idea about the sclera? Yes, we said that it is the outermost layer. So if you look at the eye, so what you can see, the whiter part is called as the sclera, and the black one, let me draw the diagram. So if you consider this as the eyeball, so the inner part. So So this is actually visible with our naked eye. So this outer part, the white is color is called as the sclera. So this is sclera, the whiter part is the sclera, and then the sclera, it is also called as the fibrous layer. Fibrous layer. Then the sclera is extends from the cornea. So this part is the cornea. So it extends from the cornea to the optic nerve. So what is optic nerve is? So if we draw a eye in this shape in the side view, this is the optic nerve. So the sclera, the whitish color extends from here to this optic nerve. So extends from uh, cornea to optic nerve. Then the sclera is attached to the extraocular muscle. So extraocular muscle. So these are the points you have to remember about the sclera. So the whitish color in the eye is called as the sclera. It is the outermost layer and it is a fibrous layer, and then it extends from the cornea. So this part, the cornea to the optic nerve. So it extends from the cornea to the from the front side of the cornea and the back side of the optic nerve. And the third point you should remember is the sclera is connected with the extraocular muscle. Okay, so the second one, now we will move on to the cornea. So cornea, so what is cornea? So if we see the eye like this, so we said from this part to this, it's called the whitish color is called as sclera, and the outermost layer, so outermost layer, this layer is called as cornea. So this is the transparent layer. So transparent layer. So the cornea has no colors. So it is very transparent, and through the cornea the light enters to the eye. So this is the use of the cornea. So what are the points you remember about cornea is? Cornea is the outermost layer, and then it has no color. So it is the transparent in color. It is the anterior convex in shape. So the shape of the cornea is convex. So these are the points you have to remember about the cornea. So the third one. Now we will move on to the limbus. So what is limbus? Any idea? So I will explain you. So this is a cornea, outermost layer, and this is your sclera. So this is the sclera, and this is your cornea. So what is the limbus? So let me tell you clearly. So this junction, so we'll use green color to identify it. So the junction, so this junction between the cornea and the sclera, so cornea and sclera, this junction is called as the limbus. So these are the points you have to remember. So the outermost layer are sclera, cornea, and the limbus. Okay, now let's move on with the middle layer. So what is the middle layer is called of? The middle layer is called as the uvea. The middle layer is called as uvea. It is composed of three parts. So anyone can guess it? What are the three parts? So it is iris, ciliary body, and choroid. Then what is the innermost layer? This is kind of everyone is familiar with. So innermost layer is called as the retina. So retina. Okay, now we'll completed the layers. Here we will go a little deeper. The outermost layer is also called as fibrous layer, and the middle layer is also called as vascular layer, and the inner layer is called as neural layer. So in this, the outer layer, the fibrous layer is consisted of the sclera, which is protect your eyes from the external things. Then the middle layer, the vascular layer, is has all the blood supplies and has everything in it. And the neural layer is your vision. So where the light comes and falls on its retina. So this is a thing. Okay, now let's move on with the diagrammatic representation of the eye. So let's go on. Okay. First, I will draw the vascular layer of the eyeball. So this is the vascular layer of the eyeball. So black, I will draw the outermost layer. So this is the outermost layer. Then I will use the blue color to represent the lens. So the lens will come here. Okay, this is the model of then I will use the yellow color to indicate the innermost layer of the eye, and this is your lens, and this lens has the thread like projections attached to this. Okay, we are done with the diagram. Now let's start our labeling with the from the outermost layer. So this is our outermost layer. So this is anterior convex, and this is your cornea. So this is your cornea, and then in the posterior, so posterior and opaque, so this is your sclera. So this is your sclera, and this is your cornea. And we already studied this junction where the sclera and the cornea attaches. This junction is called as limbus. Oops, wait on. So this junction is called as limbus. Okay, so this junction is called as limbus. So if we remove the outermost layer, here we can see the hole. So this is called as aperture, and this is your pupil, and pupil is surrounded by, so, and then the middle layer. So and the middle layer is called as iris. So next to the iris and pupil, and this is the ciliary body. So the ciliary body is further divided into two parts. Okay, so this one, which has the plicace like structure, the anterior part, this is called as pars plicata. So here, which one is plane? The plane surface is called as pars plana. Okay, then you have the finger-like projections. Here the finger-like projections I will represent with the blue color. So these projections, this projections or process is called as the ciliary processes. So this is called as the ciliary processes. And then the ciliary process, this processes is the secretion of the aqueous in the eye. So here the remaining part is called as, from the uvea, is called as the choroid. So choroid, and this yellow color which is covered the choroid inside the eye is called as the retina. So the retina is located only in the posterior surface of the eye. So the sclera, it covers the anterior and posterior, and but only the retina, the retina covers the posterior, that to the choroid. The choroid area is covered with the retina. So here the retina only covers the posterior surface. So now there are two spaces left out in the eye. So wait a minute. So here are some spaces are left behind, and then here some spaces are left. So what are these spaces called as? This part of layer is called as the vitreous. So this is called as vitreous, and this is called as aqueous. Okay, from this we are completing our anatomy of the eye. I will give you an easy way of understanding this. So if you stand in front of the mirror, so you keep your hands like this. So this part will be your ciliary body, and this finger projection is called as pars plicata, and this plane surface is called as pars plana. So if you keep like this, and this is your ciliary body, the pars plicata and pars plana, and then here comes your choroid. So this area is choroid, and it is covered inside the and the outer layer of the choroid will be the retina. So here the retina, and then the choroid, and then here in between this ciliary body here comes the zonules, and the lens will be attached here. Okay, from this we are finished our layers and structure of the eye. On the next video we will finish the outermost layer of the anatomy of the sclera and anatomy of the cornea and the limbus. Okay, hope this video will be useful to you. Thank you. Stay happy, stay healthy. Bye bye.